Hey guys, how you doing? Hey, as a realtor, anytime I'm out somewhere, somebody finds out I work in real estate, I get the questions, how's the market doing and so forth. But I've seen a shift recently where I'm getting more and more questions regarding National Association Realtor settlement or the NAR settlement that recently came out from the case in the Midwest. So that's what we're going to talk about in this video. Now, before we get started with that, let's take care of some administrative items. First of all, guys, if you're looking to buy or sell a home, look around the screen. My numbers will pop up somewhere on the screen. Love the opportunity to talk with you. Number two, if you're somebody interested in keeping up to date on real estate matters, please click on our subscribe button. Number three, down below, guys, love to have your comments. Let us know how we're doing. Let us know if you have any questions, okay? So let's get in talking a little bit about the NAR ruling. Now, the settlement came out, I don't know, a month back or so, and it's still going to be probably about 3-4 months before it's ratified by the court. So we're not doing anything right now. Now, one of the things we typically see is these real rulings come out, change of laws and so forth, and it really falls on the industry to apply it. And I think that's what we're going to see in this case is just the ruling is going to come out and the industry is going to have to adjust and apply it. Now, one of the things we see immediately is that they say that the commission that is being paid to a buyer's agent should not be on the MLS. Now, you're going to typically in a transaction, you'll have an agent who's listing the home for sale and an agent representing the buyer. And what it's saying is that that commission cannot be listed on the MLS. Now, the way it is right now, if you're representing a buyer, you go look at a home and that commission is actually on there. So the ruling is really looking at somewhat, I'll call it dismantling, but not truly dismantling, but dismantling at least commission component of the cooperative brokers agreement. Now, to understand where this came from and the cooperative brokers agreement, basically back in the day, me as a realtor, you would simply come to me to sell your home and I would go out and I'd find buyers for it, and you would pay me one commission. Now, the cooperative brokers agreement actually allowed other agents to bring buyers to the listing, and that would actually, I would then split the commission with that person. And that's what established this cooperative brokers agreement. And the MLS was actually at the center of that, or the local real estate boards would be at the center of that. We listed on the MLS, and part of the MLS agreement would be that there would be a commission paid to that buyer's agent. Now, basically, this is really kind of dismantled that. So there's a couple things that we see. First of all, there's a bunch of rumors out there and so forth, and we don't know really what's going to happen. And I think this is going to be a catalyst for some changes. And the industry evolves, and over a longer term period of time, we'll see greater changes down the road. And this may be a catalyst, the initial catalyst for some of those changes, but there'll be other things that come along and really make additional changes down the road. So just initially, well, first of all, we're hearing a lot of things like, oh, it's going to eliminate buyer's agent, it's going to reduce commissions, it's going to increase commissions, it's going to dissolve NAR, or National Association of Realtors, it's going to create a disjointed, disconnected industry. It goes on and on. We're not sure what it's going to look like. One of the things I know is the industry is going to step up and make sure that it's strong for the consumers, make sure that it's a robust industry that's vibrant. And as realtors and so forth, we're simply going to adapt to the change. Now, here's one I really see things that are going to change. Number one, for buyers and buyer's agent. If you are a buyer, one of the things you're going to see, your buyer's agent is going to need to create what's called a buyer's brokers agreement upfront. This is an agreement, just like a listing agreement, that you are exclusively working with that buyer's agent. And that buyer's brokers agreement is going to establish a commission that you're going to pay that buyer's agent. And I'll talk a little bit more about that commission right now. It's simply going to be spelled out. So that's what we're going to initially see, within that buyer's relation. Now, I think the other thing that you're going to see is that the RPA, a residential purchase agreement, is going to have to change to include something that says something about the commission. Now, the commission, I believe, will become part of that residential purchase agreement. And so they may offer a price for a home that they're purchasing, or that buyer's agent and their buyer would offer an amount for a home, and there's going to be something that addresses the commission. Now, within that, they could request that the seller pay the commission, or the seller pay a portion of the commission, or something like that, And that's some changes that I see. Again, buyer's brokers agreement upfront with buyer's agents and their buyers. Also, the buyer's brokerage agreement will spell out the commission, and that's going to be the maximum commission, and that's already established. That's the maximum commission that buyer can charge, a buyer's agent can charge. And also, commission will possibly become part of the purchase agreement. I think that's something that we're going to see. On the seller side, one of the things that's going to become really important, I believe, is a net sheet. I'm going to flash a net sheet up behind me, and the net sheet really says, hey, this is the amount that I'm offering you, and your listing agent's going to create this net sheet for you, but it's going to be the amount that I'm offering for you. Here's how much you owe on your loan, what the payoff is. Here's how much the commission is. Here's other costs involved, and here is that buyer's commission. And this is what your net's going to be when you walk away. And that seller is now going to be able to make the decision of whether they want to pay that buyer's commission or they want to push it off on the buyer, and it's going to become part of the negotiations. Also, if you have multiple offers, all these things are going to be broken down into multiple net sheets from each of those offers, and then our sellers would be able to look at which one allows them to walk away with the most money. Sometimes you may have a higher offer, but they're adding in things the buyer's adding in things like they want you to pay some of the closing costs, they want you to pay the commission and so forth, and that's really going to reduce the amount. Even though it's a higher offer price, it's going to reduce your net. You may have something that's a lower offer, but that lower offer, the buyer's paying more. They're paying their own closing costs, maybe paying their own commission, and you're going to be able to walk away with more money. So that's something you got to consider. Also, a buyer's closing statement is now going to have to be allowed to show that commission on there. And also, there's going to have to be some type of adjustment in lending to allow buyers to possibly even finance realtor fees. Don't know if we're going to see that, but those are the kinds of things that's really going to kind of help out buyers, because typically buyers are most stressed poorest person in the transaction. They're having to come up with down payments, they've got to come up with closing costs, they've got to come in moving costs, and so there may be some kind of tweak in lending which is going to account for that as well. So guys, this is just some thoughts regarding this NAR judgment. Again, some things to think about, as buyer's agents. And if you're a buyer right now, you're probably going to see your buyer needing to establish that broker's agreement, establishing a commission. Sellers, the things you're probably going to see is that down the road, you're going to have to make a decision whether you're willing to pay the buyer's agent commission, or is it best that you push that off on the actual buyer to do that. So, some options out there. Guys, again, any questions or so, just leave them below. I'll do my best to get to them and answer them. Also, if you're looking to buy or sell a home, guys, my number is going to be on the screen. Reach out. Love to talk with you. And also, if you're somebody interested in really keeping up in the real estate market, guys, click on the subscribe button. Thank you. Look forward to talking with you.